Okay, so we are going to do some work on the floors here. And you can see there is the level, the bubble. It's not quite level, but it's getting there. But when you look at the level, you can see that we have almost an 1.5 inch drop in the floor here over a 3-foot span. So we are going to pull out from this point that way, the floor is level, and from this point that way, there is a conspicuous drop in the floor. So what we are going to do is we're going to pull out some of the old wood flooring to this line here, and then we will be able to take 3/4 inch plywood and lay it across, and the plywood will go flush to the 3/4 inch fir floor here, and then right here it is 3/4 of an inch under the level, so the plywood will span from here to there. And then we'll put a couple of sleepers in this area and that area to fully support it. So then we'll get the plywood nailed down in place, and then we'll have a level floor. And this old floor under here, it's just not worth saving. We were thinking about it, but with this slope in the floor, and then there's so many things in the floor, cuts in the floor, that it would just take a lot of repair work. And so and then also it's fir. It's a fairly hard wood, but it's not a hardwood, and it's also got very wide gaps, and it just wouldn't finish nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a snap lock floor over this. And so what we need to do is the leveling treatment in this area with pulling up the floor and then laying plywood across. And then what that will do is, for instance, if you have a piece of furniture, a chest of drawers that you want to put up against this wall here, it's going to lean, and it's going to lean a lot. Like, it'll be 3 inches out at the bottom and touching here at the top. So it just isn't good to have. And so then also, another one of the things that makes remodeling old houses so interesting, so much fun, is I'm pulling up the flooring here, and they used old newspaper for under the floor. And so you read the headline on the newspaper, and it is, "Kaiser's troops take possession of Brussels. Many still defiant French and English must now make stand against invading army." So this is a newspaper from early in World War I, when it sounds like the Kaiser, Germany, was just beginning to move on Brussels, France, and England. So very interesting. I am going to try and save some of this newspaper if I can get it. Unfortunately, the newspaper is under courses of wood, and I just don't know if I can save it. But yeah, it's very interesting. Every so often you find interesting old stuff about the house, hidden within the house. And like the house next door, when we remodeled that, we found the pipes were wrapped with newspaper from 1903. So that was an interesting find over there too. So anyway, okay, that is the update in here, and I've got the unknown mechanic is busily painting over here, doing a wonderful job. Something nice and easy for him to do.
In your dreams.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like Mitch did not go to Montana, so he snuck yesterday off, and now he's going to come up today, Sunday, and do some work. And so anyway, we're going to get back to this, but yeah, so to cut this up, you take your skill saw, set it for 3/4 of an inch deep, and you cut right along the line here, and you cut the tongue, the interlock of that first course of wood, and then you can start pulling up the rest of the courses of wood. So, all right, that's it for now, and I will show the finished product later. Okay, so we've been doing a bunch of work on this front porch here, and you see how we have the gap between the porch and the house filled with mortar now. And that's all along down here. Then there used to be a bulge of cement on this step here, and it was kind of unsightly. You would come up here and see it and wonder, geez, no, that doesn't look too good. So I took the diamond cutting wheel on the grinder and I cut it off, and then I took the flat diamond grinder and flattened out the rest of this, so now it is hardly noticeable, and it did end up giving me some polished rock there. But so now when we got to paint this porch, I'm going to try using some Geico Flex deck coat on it. It's supposed to be really good on concrete, and so I still need to go over the porch and clean it up a bit. Then also, I didn't really explain what we did with these windows here yesterday too well. The old brick mold was rotted on it, just weather, sun, rain, and so we tore all the trim out around the window, and now we have 5 4x4 cedar fascia boards here, and cedar is good. It is a rot resisting wood, and then this is a PVC brick mold over that, and then we slipped a drip edge flashing under the siding to rest on top, and it's all caulked in and painted now. And then we also put a 2-inch flashing underneath, and you can just see the flashing there, and the flashing has, you see that gray concrete adhesive caulk under it, and that is going to keep any water from getting under the flashing and to the house. So that is a 2-inch by 2-inch flashing, and these flashings are 1.5 by 1.5 with a bent down drip edge on it. And so I think you can maybe just barely see some of the, I think maybe I'm too close to focus, but just barely see some of the adhesive, flexible adhesive caulk that is under the flashing. So this should take care of things. And then we also mortared the gap under there and sloped the mortar away from the house. So this should do a real good job of weatherproofing the house. And then also there is a overhang in the roof, which also protects everything from the elements. You always want to have a house that has a roof overhang. I would just not buy a house that did not have at least an 18 or 24 inch roof overhang to protect the side of the house. Okay, so there you go. We'll hit that porch with the grinder a little later today, and I'm hoping to get the gecko deck out by the end of the day. Okay, so that should cover everything here so far. And then you see we've done some restoration work on the threshold here. So this part here will get the gecko deck, and this part up here is going to be refinished, sanded out, and we'll put floor finish on that. And then it'll have snap lock flooring all through here. But you see the new paint color, it's looking good. I like it a lot. And then we'll have that snap lock wood flooring in here, and that'll finish things up very nicely. All right.